Welcome to the No Name Brand Podcast. My name is Sashka Hanarapal, actress, singer, dancer, turned brand marketing, sales, and advertising strategist who brands your soul. And each week I bring you an inspiring person or message to help you discover your undergod. Turn up your leadership notches, challenge the status quo, because you're fast and furious with a powerful message to share with the world. Thank you for taking time out with me today, and without further ado, let's get our creative and wisdom juices flowing. Well, gorgeous visionaries, it's so great to have you back here with me and with today's guest, of course, whom you are going to love. Now, have you ever seen the animation How to Train a Dragon? It's one of my favorite animations. Now, do you recall the main character, Hiccup? It's such a cool name. Now, this gorgeous soul, in comparison to his mighty, powerful, big father leader, he's tiny, if not puny. And you can see that within him, he could probably move mountains with his powerful strength, full of faith and empathy. And yet, through his limiting beliefs, he holds himself small. And it took a dragon, an injured one at that, something that terrified Hiccup, to show him just how iconic he was born to be. And that is what our next guest hopes to help gorgeous souls with. Live their own iconic life. How? Well, our next guest comes from a successful career in fine gastronomy. Think real foods, restaurants, author, activist, TV, and a long partnership with fitness and dance. My kind of gal. Including 2 periods as a professional dancer and 1 with horses. Oh my God. Somewhere in the middle, she found the pathway to personal development, specifically the skilled and required to overcome limiting beliefs and habits in order for each and every one of us to reach our highest potential. But what is that highest potential? What does it actually mean? And how does one live an iconic life without limits? And what does that look like? Well, we're going to delve into all of that in just a bit. We're going to delve into the world of how our next guest helps creative visionaries use their big soul why to structure, practically and energetically, their most iconic business and lifestyle, so that you can stop playing invisible and thrive creating big ripples. And who the heck doesn't want big ripples? Yes, please. So, without further ado, please help me welcome the one and only Jenny P. Parker Brown. Hello, Jenny.
Hi. I was actually looking behind me to see if you were talking about somebody else. I was like, who's she talking about?
I'm talking about you, my girl. I'm talking about you. It's so lovely having you here with us
It's
today.
lovely to be here. I love you so much. Just in awe of your awesomeness anyway. So, of your own iconicness.
Well, here goes Sashka Melt. So let's delve into the first question. Horses. You danced on and with horses. How, where, when, what, and why did you stop?
Why did I stop? Oh gosh, I'll have to get this really in a brief resume. This was my dream from 18, to do something artistic or to do something with horses, and my parents refused. And they sent me to get a job like everybody else. So deep inside, I knew that that was my soul blueprint, and I kept it going throughout. Divorces and stuff and children, and not a great start to my young life, apart from my big success with restaurants. And because this soul blueprint is so strong in us, it's so strong, it will not be silenced. Soul blueprint will not be silenced. It will keep coming back and reminding you again and again and again of what you came here to do. So I traveled with it all the way to France, migrated to France, kept listening to it until I got into the whole world of horses and cabaret. And from not knowing anything about this world at all, apart from just being a rider, within 6 years, I trained a beautiful little white horse to haute école dressage. I created my own cabaret under a big top, and then I performed with a professional troupe. Now, what was so incredible about this adventure, first of all, it was risky It was hard. It was precarious. It was ridiculous. But I knew it was calling me. And I had the day that this beautiful, beautiful episode happened, which I love to talk about, which is in an arena in the south of France under a Mediterranean sky with 8 actors and 8 dancers, all in beautiful finery, fancy, gorgeous dress. And I was dancing with my little white horse in a white ballet gown, wondering how I got there. How did I do it? You know, from this dream, this vision, and then everybody has fantasies when they're young, and actually being there. And at that moment, my colleague, the chef of the troupe, opened this chest, and 12 white doves flew around the arena and settled on my horse.
Oh, wow.
Did not budge an inch. And there was a sweet trapezist who was actually sat on him at the time. And I looked, my jaw dropped on the ground, and I had an epiphany. I had an absolute epiphany. I went, oh my God, like, beam me up, Scotty, now. You know, it's like, I'm done. You know, this is what I came here to do. There's a message of beauty. There's a message of hope. There's a message of inspiration, of grace. And I knew that I'd realized that dream, that I'd found the code. Except that I didn't know about codes then. But nevertheless, I was feeling it. And then just very shortly afterwards, because several years before that, I'd been practically suicidal when I'd had my second daughter, pardon. And then I realized I need to find out what it is that takes people either to the depths of despair or limits their life potential or opens up them to their very, very greatest potential. That's been my quest ever since. It still is my quest to find out, research, analyze, take it apart, nuts and bolts. How does it happen? What does it mean? And it isn't just about having a dream, because most people's dreams are like bigger houses, going on holiday, money. No, our soul blueprint is something so much more colourful, multicolored, Warner Brothers than that. It really is. And when you tap into that power, then you can do anything with it.
What does that calling feel like?
I think probably it's what we all feel first thing in the morning, last thing at night. That this all there is, sort of the end of feeling at the end of the day. And this longing. First thing in the morning, it's usually, especially with entrepreneurs, it's like, right, let me at it. Certainly, it's very emotional. We tap into it with our emotions and our hormones. And that kind of leads us there, because I wanted to talk about these emotions and these hormones, is that leads us there and we go, okay, is that it? I'm feeling high, I'm feeling elevated, I'm feeling this is fantastic, whether it's on the stage speaking or helping a client or making dinner. This it here? Is that it there? Is that it there? And soul will keep telling us and reminding us all the time through our elevated emotions.
Through elevated emotions?
Yes.
So we won't see it or hear it or feel it when we're feeling even a little bit down?
Yes, that's the converse side. That's soul knocking on the door saying, have you forgotten?
I like that. I like that. So tell me a little bit more about how you help creative visionaries, helping them practically and energetically with their business and their lifestyle to stop playing invisible. What are you doing over there? How are you putting things together? Because you also have something that you've created and copyrighted called the Trinity Code. So how does this all work together, and how did it go to this now from the horses?
Let me just, because I did the work, because I discovered that this recoding of ourselves, this calling actually evolves as we evolve. So once that I'd got to that stage, I knew that I had to reproducing that epiphany or that calling or that expression of myself, but in a different way. So that's what's so gorgeous about this. It never stops. It will just keep taking, I guess, once Hiccup had trained his dragon. Is there a Hiccup too? There is actually, isn't there? Train Your Dragon too. Maybe he went on to do like a masterclass in training dragons or something like that. So nevertheless, this expression of yourself will finding a way to be realized in different ways. And for me, because I'd already been an entrepreneur, I just knew it was time for me to bring all of that into an entrepreneurial model, because I've been working since I was basically 10 years old. So, yeah, it was not quite as glamorous at 10 years old, taking dogs for a walk, cleaning tables out, nevertheless. So in actual fact, I had a model that I was starting to work with, and then I did 6 months of really hard, intensive workshop and found this incredible way to explain what was happening. That's what I was doing, was actually found a way to make this tangible to people and to make it a practical tool for entrepreneurs. So what I discovered was the power of sacred geometry, which is where the Trinity Code came from. And the whole of the universe, everything is vibration and wave and frequency, and it's all based on sacred geometry. And noticed that there was something very, very powerful about the kind of the number 3, 3, 6, and 9. And when I researched, I found that several people like Newton, Tesla, Pythagoras, Einstein had already discovered this, and so had a lot of other ancient texts and scripts. And Tesla was the one most of all that describes how the universe is made up, physical universe and the unseen universe. So because manifestation has been around like 15, 20 years now, I was like, okay, I'm sure that there's got to be something to do with manifestation here. And of course there is. So the power of 3 is actually, the Trinity Code is the nuts and bolts of manifestation. In other words, the nuts and bolts of self-realization, of us expressing our greatest potential. Because that's what manifestation is. It isn't about having things. It's about us being our greatest self, about our expressing our soul blueprint. And the Trinity Code, this use of sacred geometry, is such a simple, streamlined way of people, entrepreneurs, creative visionaries who are very, very sensitive to this work, of finding their own soul blueprint and bringing that into their business and building their whole business and lifestyle around it. So this is a little bit of a reverse psychology model, instead of, which is the old Maslow model, is where you start off with security and belonging and the basic needs, and then you work up until the end to fulfillment. Well, this is taking that a little bit on its head and making that bottom tier the fulfillment, which, and then you build on top of that, you build the money, the material status, and the belonging and the love and everything else, which totally makes sense because we're vibrational beings. So it makes sense that in our day, living our daily routines, our habits, both our domestic habits, our business habits, everything from a place of this fulfillment, of tapping into this energetic, it's hormonal actually, this energetic place. It makes sense that we will accelerate all of the things that we want to see in this 3D world.
And how do you implement this? Through mindset, through affirmations, or how do you implement, or how do you teach creative visionaries to implement the Trinity Code?
I love that question. I love that question. Thank you for asking it. Really simple. Once you found that Trinity Code, and it's 3 qualities, which reveal your zone of genius. So quite simply, you start to make that the basis of your life, because that's your soul. So what else do we need with soul? We need mind to go with it. We need mindset to go with it. And we need our body to agree with it as well. This is the problem of most of the people walking around the planet, is that mind, body, and soul are split off somewhere. They're out of alignment. So what we do is is this very simple tool is to bring you back into alignment, mind, body, and soul. When I say body, that isn't just about fitness and wellness. It's habits. Our bodies are the things that walking around doing the habits, the ones that serve us, the ones that don't, all of them, procrastinating in our work, what we shouldn't, all of it. So we start with the soul blueprint, and then we bring body and mind in agreement, and then bingo.
For lack of a different word, how difficult is it to bring everything into alignment because of everything being so split? So how do you reel everything in?
I do it with a model which I call the Iconic Life model, which is create your iconic life, which is basically we design together what your ideal lifestyle looks like according to your Trinity Code. What does that look like? So that's envisage. And then we get into the detail. What does that look like in your relationships? What does that look like in your body? What does that look like in your vocation and your revenue? What does that look like? And we define it all in a classic goal setting way, I would say. It's like that's what it looks like. That's what it looks like. That's what it looks like. Okay, what lies between you now and that vision of your iconic life? Identify that and get rid of it. And
And start achieving it. Yes! Oh my God. So how do I live? Because I see then, okay, this is what I want to achieve. Is that then my highest potential? Or is there more behind that?
Well, as I said, it evolves all the time. This was what's so beautiful about it. But for example, I think it was about 2015 when I did my Trinity Code, although it wasn't called that, I realized that horses weren't in my Trinity Code anymore. But nevertheless, there was still a theme of nature and movement and outside and other things. So you will find these leading themes to your life, which you need because they make you happy, because you need them. Whether it's a stage or speaking or caring for people, you need them. These themes will just be our potential that they're hovering around in this beautiful energetic cloud. And then you just get clear. And you usually get clear, need this time to get clear about every few months or so. I do my Trinity Code about 4 times a year. Or if I'm in a transition and I want some clarity, because it's like an oracle, it will tell you the right way to go. You just tap into it and it'll show you the right thing that you need to do with your business or the thing you need to do with your body. So to answer your question.
So definitely, because your highest potential, it's not a destination.
No.
It's always evolving. It's like
always
it isn't a destination. Cool.
Absolutely. It's just always evolving.
Why are we stopping ourselves from living that iconic life? How did you stop? How did you see within your life how you were stopping yourself that helps you recognize in others how they're stopping themselves?
Oh, getting into despair quite a lot of times. Getting into a lot of scrapes a lot of times. And seriously, some periods of adversity and precarity and abusive relationships and living at the edge and hovering off the cliff over it, and that pulling me back.
So how are you being the change in the world that you want to see in the world today?
By living my Trinity Code, living my personal Trinity Code now, because in that, well, first of all, when we are living from that expression of our potential, there is a natural energetic ripple. It naturally ripples out. It naturally inspires others. People are attracted to us. People are attracted to your energy. People look up to you. People go, my God, how do you do that? Where do you get your energy from? Where do you get this power? Why do you shine such light? So there's a gentle way that it just inspires. But because you and I want to help, we are very mission-based, we bring it into practical form, which we've both done, and so many creative, visionary entrepreneurs have done, and made it something that is teachable.
Yeah, because creative visionaries, they're all over the place. They spread so all over the place. So what you're doing is showing how to fuel the machine, to fuel the dream, whatever that dream is, be it a business or be it a house or be it standing on the stage, or maybe someone also wants to go and dance with horses. Who knows? Join the circus. Well, I hope it's not a circus like Cirque du Soleil or something, so you're not harming any animals. So you're fueling the machine, which is the mind, body, and soul, to fuel that in order to fuel the dream.
Yes, even before the mind, body, and soul alignment, what we're doing is optimizing every day, optimizing every single day to make sure that you feel those elevated emotions, because that's the point. Is to feel those elements, and those elevated emotions come from just 3 things. Surprise, surprise.
Dun, dun, eh.
Not 4, not 2, 3. They come from what you love, what puts you into a state of bliss. That's the same thing. What you do best, innately well, gifted, naturally gifted, and what your core values are. And the intersection of those. And the beautiful thing is that you cannot work that out with your conscious mind. If you try, if you stick those and fiddle with them, you can't, because the conscious mind will always take over. So the Trinity Code process actually finds that out for you. So actually what you've got is not a dream of standing on stage. What your dream is qualities which will bring you. So it could be speaking, of course, it could be communication. And then the next bit is, what does that communication look like? Does it look like standing on stage? Does it look like making a magazine? Does it look like being a blogger in the world? But if this communication is a quality, transmission is a quality. So what we're doing is we tap into those qualities, and then the tools that I have allow people to tap into those tools every single day. And if they forget, like when we get off and we get in a funk, you get your planner out, you get your Trinity Code out, and you remind yourself of those qualities. And you do what it takes to get back in those qualities. And that's what we came here to do, Sashka.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, that's what we came here to do. So what exciting things is Jenny P planning for the future? What do we have to look forward to?
Well, right now I'm working on a beautiful planner so that people can carry their Trinity Code and system around and their iconic life system with them in their handbag and take it out and add to it. So, because I'm a really practical girl. And because I'm creative, I get up every day and I'm a bit spaced. It's like a bit like you say, creative visionaries, that we're tuning in all over the place. Like, that would be good, that would be good. So having a planner, beautiful, not on the computer, not on the mobile, something gorgeous in your hands. Books, I love exercises, love journals. And so I'm creating a planner that you can use every day. And my big dream now, my big dream is to make a film documentary about the Trinity Code, because it's so exciting. It's so exciting. And I found loads of people all over the world who are kind of tapping into this energy and power in different ways, physicists, scientists, business people, all sorts of people. And I would love to make a film documentary about the Trinity Code. Here's the secret, not in the same way, not superly flashy, but I would love to make a measured, artistic, gorgeous documentary film about the Trinity Code.
I love it. I love it. Yeah. So we'll both be starring. Yay!
Absolutely.
Oh, I love it, Jenny. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. It's going to get my mind thinking. I was actually thinking whilst you were talking now, a nice board game would be cool to do it with friends as well, or even with yourself, a single board game with that planner. Be really cool.
Yeah, it starts with a game. It actually starts with a creative process.
Cool. I love it. I want. So we're at the end of this very fast interview, and I ask all my guests 2 questions near the end. How do you want to change the world or challenge the world doing what you do?
Why do I want to challenge the world?
Change the world or challenge the world doing what you do.
Well, I think it would be in terms of numbers of people impacted. It's very simple. It's to let them know that they have an iconic life in them. I'm viscerally attached to that. Viscerally. I channel it. It's like I channel people's desires. That's like what you want, I want as much as you. So my mission and my legacy, one of my Trinity Code, is to help as many people as possible tap into their own iconicness.
Oh, I love it. I'd love your input on 3 of my main values. Passion for you is?
Passion. Passion for me is feeling excitement every single day. If I've had a life and there isn't passion in it, then I've had a day where there isn't passion. It's breath. Passion is breath. Because it's only when we are there that we're creating, that we're making. So yes.
I love that.
Breathing.
I love that. Wisdom for you is?
Wisdom is all around us. Wisdom is something that you have within you. You're coded for it. You have all of the wisdom in you. You don't need to learn anything. You simply need to know the way to bring it all out of you. Everybody has natural wisdom.
Natural wisdom. Oh, I like that. Creativity for you is?
Life.
Yes, that's true. Yes, please.
If we're not creating, then we're not living. Creativity isn't necessarily about art and performing and everything. Creating is manifesting every single day. We create our day. We create our day. And this is the biggest thing, is that an iconic life isn't something in the future. It isn't something you try to get to. It's something that you live from. And that's creating as well.
I love that. Iconic life is something that you live from now, not in the future. Thank you so much, Jenny, for being with us here today and sharing your big soul why, your soul blueprint, the Trinity Code, and how we can reach our highest potential or live our highest potential, always evolving. Thank you for sharing that with us here today. And to our listeners, you can find out more about Jenny in the show notes, her favorite quote, favorite book, where you can find her on social media, and of course her website with a little bit of a free gift for you. Thank you so much, everyone, for listening this week. I love you so much and I appreciate you so much. And I look forward to seeing and hearing you next week. I see you through the counts and all the comments and sharing and hearing what you like to hear as well. Have an awesome week, and remember to be the change that you want to see in the world, living fast and furious. Love you all, and thank you, Jenny.
Oh, thank you so much. It's been fantastic. Thank you so much.
Pleasure. Love you all. Bye-bye. Dang, that was just supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. I enjoyed having you on board, and please do me and you a favor. Head on over to iTunes, SoundCloud, or Stitcher. Click subscribe, and a super bonus, leave your review and you stand a chance of being announced and advertised on the show. I'm always striving to ensure that your brand is uplifted and empowered. Remember, done is better than perfect. So be sure to subscribe, leave a review, and send in your feedback too. You're the absolute best. Keep rocking.